Welcome back to the Loupe training. In this section, we're going to cover adding items to the appraisal. The first item we're going to add is going to have a diamond component to it. The second item we add will have a colored stone component to it. That way we can see the difference between the two types of components. We've already covered the overview, so we've logged on. We've also searched for Sally Loupe as an existing client and selected her record. We've selected the appraisal type as an insurance appraisal. So you can see the Loupe automatically populates the creation date as today's date, June 25th, and Sally's information is already populated in the contact fields. At this point during the appraisal, if there's an additional named person who Sally wants on the appraisal, maybe a spouse or a family member, you can add that person's information right here. We don't have any additional people we're going to add, so we're going to go ahead and create the appraisal. From here, we'll add an item to the appraisal by clicking the green plus. Our first item is a ring. So we'll select the item and we'll provide a description within the description field. You'll want to make sure to be as descriptive as possible in the description section. Also, check for any typos within the description section. You'll see on the right-hand side that gold, platinum, and silver prices are provided. To add components to this ring, we'll select the green arrow. Click the text to add a component to the item. We're going to add diamonds to this ring. Click the select text to add detail about the diamond. From this screen, you can enter details about the diamond or diamonds in the ring. Use the drop-down to select the appropriate shape. For this ring, it's a tapered baguette, so we're going to go to S through T and look for tapered baguette. If it's a shape that's not listed, you can use this unlisted shape box to enter the information. Enter the number of stones and also enter the weight for each stone. If you don't know the weight for the stone, you can enter the length, the width, and the depth to estimate the weight of the stone. We've got the weight for the single stone, so we're just going to go ahead and enter the weight in that field. When you're also entering the number of stones and the weight, you want to make sure that you've selected mounted or unmounted for the stones. And also, if you've actually estimated the weight, you'll select estimated. But since these are the actual weights, we're going to leave this selected as actual. Use the girdle section to identify if the girdle is visible or not visible. If you need to adjust the thickness of the girdle to estimate the weight, you'll need to click the estimate weight button again. We'll leave this at 0%. And for the girdle description, we'll leave none. Enter the table size and other information, especially if you have a certification. If that information is not available, click Next Page to continue. From this screen, we'll select the clarity and color. For this diamond, we're going to select an S11 with a J color. You can also select the cutlet, fluorescence, polish, symmetry information. So we'll leave the cutlet and fluorescent blank, but we're going to set the polish as good and the symmetry as good. No additional treatments. Cut will set as good. If you have a fancy diamond, click the color wheel on the right side of the page. You can then select the base color to begin the color selection process. If you have a fancy yellow diamond, select the yellow, and then you can go and actually select the color that matches the color of the diamond. We're going to leave this as not a fancy diamond, so we're going to close out of here. If you have any other descriptive comments, you can add them here as well. But we're just going to click Next Page. Plotting is optional. If you need to plot a diamond or if it's been requested, first select the pen color based off of the key on the right. So if you want to do any internal markings, use the red, or external markings, use the green. So we'll set the red color, and then you can make your markings within the image or within the plotting diagram. If you make a mistake, just click Reset Image, and then it'll take you back to the start. We're not going to do a plotting on this. We'll just go ahead and click Next Page. Now we'll cover pricing for the diamond. For this diamond, we're going to set a pricing method by weight. We'll set the wholesale cost or price at $13.50 and identify a markup of 200%. Once we click the Save Appraisal link over in the bottom right, the pricing will be updated to the appraisal. So now you can see that the pricing was calculated at $25.92 based on a wholesale price of $13.50. You also have the opportunity to override the value and not calculate it. And then you can just add the value in the field if that's what your appraisal calls for. So we've added the component of the diamond to this ring. You can see on the left-hand side, you can save the appraisal at any point, and you can also go back to the diamond. You can go back and look in the current component. You can see a description of the item, and you can also navigate to the items in this appraisal. After you've completed adding the diamond, you can also add additional components to the item by clicking this green plus button or the text right next to it. We do recommend that as you move through the loop that you save often. I definitely recommend to save after every component and for sure after every item. You'd hate to lose a whole item that you've completed the appraisal for. From here, you select a diamond, color stone, pearl, watches, just as we did before, and it'll just take you through the same set of screens as we did with the diamond, or the set of screens that you'll do with a colored stone. That concludes our section on adding a new item with a diamond component. I hope you'll join me in the next section where we'll add another item with a colored stone as a component.